What's up guys? Today we're going to be looking at freezing, what it is and how if you learn to do it then I'm positive you could abuse it all the way up to diamond. Now before we start, I spent the weekend at Comic-Con. I met a bunch of you guys and I kind of realized as well that most of you watch my videos with the goal of getting to diamond or having a bit of fun I guess, or even just because you like the British accent. And I'm not blaming you at all. I mean, I often sit down of an evening with a cup of tea and watch my videos because I just love that accent obviously, but that story is for another video. So moving swiftly on, freezing is also known as zoning, and it's basically where you keep the minion wave out of range of enemies. Now most commonly this happens when the enemy pushes the wave and you just last hit. There will be more enemy minions than your minions, and so it's going to push into you. Now this is where the freezing part comes in, because you could just push the wave back into the middle like most people normally do, but to freeze it you want to hold the wave just outside your tower and only last hit. Now to show you what I mean, I've whipped up this state-of-the-art modern 3D bot lane to go over it. So right now this is a normal lane. It's in the middle where it normally is and both sides are pushing as hard as the other. Suppose we say Corki now only last hits, and after a while the red side is going to have more minions than blue. So this is the point where the wave will start to push towards you, and this is when you freeze. This next part is only going to work if you're ahead, and that is kind of the whole point of freezing. It's being aggressive without killing anyone or without taking any risks. So now your minions are quite close to your tower. It means that the enemy laner has to step forward to take them, but if you position yourselves around here, it means that they have to fight you to get to the minions, and if they aren't strong enough to do that, then they have no choice but to back off. Keeping the minions in this position is the most common form of freezing. You've basically frozen the minion wave in this particular place that allows you to stop the enemy getting gold or experience. This general situation would probably freeze for a couple of minutes anyway, but to take it a step further, when all your minions die, you can tank the wave like I'm kind of showing you now until your next wave turns up, and that will keep it frozen for even longer. So this may seem kind of pointless, but let me just show you how it normally goes and why that's not always the best option. So you're in control, you position yourself ahead of the wave to force them back, but because you're pushing, it means that you're sending minions into the tower for the enemy to kill. This gives them gold and it gives them experience, and while they may miss a few CS under turret, you can hopefully see that it's not really punishing them anywhere near as much as freezing does. Okay, so that's kind of what freezing is, and now we're going to look at why. So this is going to work better in the top or bot lane rather than mid, and that's purely because mid lane is shorter and mages tend to have higher range to push the wave into tower from a distance. Now earlier I said that if you learn how to do this, you can probably abuse it up to diamond. So let's kind of go over exactly what I mean. So by freezing, you get gold when the enemy doesn't. You get experience when the enemy doesn't. It's basically impossible to get ganked because you're at your tower. And in reverse, it's easy for the enemy laner to get ganked because they have to push up so far. So in solo queue, it's not really enough just to go even. You need to win your lane, and even if you do win your lane, by pushing constantly you're feeding gold into the enemy laner, and it means that mid game they're still going to be strong. So freezing kind of lets you remove the risk of the enemy laner being able to carry. You take away their golden experience and you basically render them useless. Going into mid game, you've created an almost 5v4 situation, and you're giving your team way more of a chance to win by basically taking no risk. If you think about it, the traditional way of dominating a lane is to kill them a lot, I guess. That's what most people do, and sure that works, but it's risky, especially when it would normally have to involve you pushing and diving. By freezing, you actually hurt them just as much, if not more, and if they try and come and CS, then you get to have that fight you want in the middle of a lane with no towers around. Now obviously, as with everything, there are some downsides to doing this, and you really do have to be aware of them, otherwise it can bite you right in the ass. Okay, so just to end with a disclaimer very quickly, no, this is not going to be enough to get you to diamond on its own, but a lot of people are capable of winning their lane, they just don't really know how to push and create that lead. I'd honestly say that if you learn how to freeze properly, then you probably climb a whole league just by that. So you go from silver to gold, for example, or even plat to diamond. And let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I'm planning on doing a couple more like maining champions and why that's going to let you climb quicker or attack moving and things like that. But if you enjoyed the video, let me know, subscribe, like, and share it with your friends, and I'll catch you in my next video.